Mike, just wanted to talk about the battle level that the Senators can bring, with the group that they have. And if, that's good for your group to kind of bump up against that and to have to play the game in a way that brings that out in you and your group as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously they're a young team that's, had played a lot better hockey as of late. So I think they're like any team in this league. You can win on any given night, and you just got to make sure that you're looking after what you can control, and that's your group's work ethic. But definitely they've shown they can play against some real good teams and compete and win hockey games. So there's no obviously there's a desperation mode in our game that we need to continue to improve on, and what better way to do that than against a team that comes out every night and has a good effort.
We were just chatting with Leon Draisaitl. He talked about the competition between he and McDavid being really healthy, and that they both are competing with each other to be the best. This is two pretty high-end guys, fighting for that. What do you see in that healthy competition between the two of them?
I mean, anytime you can make your teammates better, whether it's practice or games, I think it's a healthy thing. I think both guys want to be the best player in the world, and in their own rights have the capabilities to do that. So I think that's a good problem to have. We can have two guys like that on the same team, and both guys have proven that they can take the ball and run with it and really lead this group, from an offensive standpoint and also as leaders of our team. And I think it's, like I said, it's a good problem to have when you have two guys like that are willing to do whatever it takes to kind of get this team to the next level. And obviously we're fortunate to have both of them on the team.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Mike, I'm far from a goalie expert, so bear with me. Kevin Woodley came on and he talked about the biggest changes he sees with you is, balance is better. It's something about, leading with the head first and then the torso and everything follows after that. Can you talk about just how much better you feel and, making that change late in your career? Not a lot of guys are able to do that. And Woodley says he's been most impressed by how you've done it, make it almost look seamless and easy.
I mean, I'm not thinking too deeply into all those comments, but to be honest, I'm trying to get better every single day I'm in this league, and every year that I have I'm fortunate enough to be a part of, I think I want to just keep improving on my craft and try and be as consistent as possible. And that's one thing I think every player strives for in this league. And still at my age, I want to continue to do that and try and find ways to improve every year. So I think this year is no different than any other. I think I've gone into the off season with the mindset that I want to improve, and obviously some training habits changed just because of the location where I was at, but I'm still working with the same people I have throughout the course of my career, and I've added pieces here and there. But I think for the main part, I've just mentally I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time and just really preparing for that next start, and kind of all the little technical parts of it just are just little parts of it. But I think it's just it's something I really take pride in, and every day is a new day for me, and I'm out there working as hard as I can to be as prepared as I can for the next game.
As well as you've played, you sit even on the bench last game and in the games that you're on the ice, and the team in front of you has really done a better job since the start of February in limiting the chances. Can you maybe talk about the defense in front of you that has allowed you and even Mikko to maybe make your job a little bit easier?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that's been talked about, quite a bit this year with our group is limiting the scoring chances, and I think every team goes through it. Every team talks about it, but obviously when your team is playing well defensively and not giving up as many odd man rushes and those high quality scoring chances, it's going to be that much easier and better for your goaltending. So obviously it works hand in hand, and when the team's playing solid defensively, it makes our job a heck of a lot easier. So I think we're trying to figure that out, and it's getting better day by day here, and hopefully it continues to improve and leading into the playoffs.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Leon Draisaitl was talking about your leadership style and how, he's not a young guy, but they learn from you, and it's kind of some leadership traits that they'll take into their future. Who are the guys that shaped you when you showed up in the league? Who are the leaders that, when you were in a room not saying much, who were the guys that were saying much?
Yeah, I mean, playing as long as I have, I think I've had the opportunity to play with some unbelievable, captains, unbelievable leaders, and I think I've learned a lot from each one of those people and those players that I played with. So I think you also have to find your way and know what works for the team now. Obviously, the game's changed quite a bit from the first year I came in the league as far as players and as far as how young the league's gotten. But I think Mike Modano, Brendan Morrow, Marta Turco my first years, and then those are older guys. But I think you play with Marty St. Louis and Steven Stamkos, everyone, you learn a little bit from everyone you play with, and obviously playing in Arizona for 6 years with one of the best captains to ever play, and Shane Doan, and the leadership that he brought, and learning from him, and a guy like Ray Whitney also had a big impact on kind of a way to lead and a way to kind of to kind of promote what you're saying in the right demeanor. And I think every year that goes by, you kind of play with guys that lead in different ways, and you kind of learn from. And I'm trying to do my part on and off the ice to show that I'm here to help this team get better and to win every game.
So it must be kind of fun at this point. Like when you showed up at Edmonton, I'm sure I'll ask you, did you look around the room and see that clearly some leadership, your leadership could help? And is it kind of cool being, after all those years watching and learning from older guys, now you're the older guy and young guys are watching and learning from you? Yeah,
it goes by pretty fast. I can remember my first years, guys telling me that enjoy it because it goes by fast. And now here I am, one of the older guys in the league, and you're trying to relay that same message to these younger players now. But I take pride in it. To be honest, I take pride in it. I think it's an aspect of the game that is still important, and I think older guys still have a valuable role in this league now, especially being there's just so many young players coming in every single year, and they can't do it by themselves. So I think it's as amazing as Connor as a captain and Leon is. They're young players that need a helping hand from time to time. So I think that's what older guys are here for, and that's what guys did for me when I came into the league. And I think that same support that got me to the point I am now, these younger players deserve the same from me. Because I appreciate everything that older players did for me when I was a younger kid.
Jack Michael, 630 Ched.
Mike, just to clean up on a question Jason asked. I mean, there has been a lot of talk around the league from those who cover the league that you look like a completely different goaltender, not relying as much on athletic ability. Are those comments exaggerated to some degree, where the tweaks you've made are more minor?
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, I haven't it hasn't been a wholesale change on the things I've done from year to year in the past, 5 or 10 years, that's for sure. But there has been little tweaks made in my game that you're trying to improve on every single season to give your chance to be as consistent as possible. And that's something that you battle with all season long. Some years, seem like they go a lot more easily than others. And I'm just really focused on this year, just really worrying about what I can control. And that's just how I play and how I prepare for games. And accepting that, I think this year it's easy to accept that you need both goalies. And that's one thing that's been hard probably later in my career is accepting that you're not going to play every game and, not letting that bother you and just worrying about what you can control, and that's your next start. And it's worked up to this point for this season, and I'll be having the same kind of mindset moving forward and just kind of take it one day at a time, one game at a time. And it's easier said than done, but it's kind of worked to this point, and I'll hopefully continue that.
Thanks, Mike. That's all I have.
Final question, Harnarayan Singh, Sportsnet.
Sorry, Mike, I was muted there, but just wanted to ask you at this stage in your career, and I'm assuming some uncertainty in the off season. You come in and sign the 1-year deal, and what does it mean to you to be having this type of success with your record up until this point in this season?
Oh, it's obviously nice to be on the right side of it right now. I think the main thing is our team's doing well, and that's all it's all I really wanted is an opportunity to come back and help, this group be successful. And, I'm obviously on the later stages of my career, but feel like I have a lot left to give. And one thing I haven't accomplished yet in my career is win the Stanley Cup and giving yourself an opportunity to get there. So I think that's my main focus, is to help this team get into the playoffs, and then whatever happens after that, anything can happen. So I think obviously there's a lot of work to be done. We're not even halfway through the season yet, and we're still growing as a group. So I think personally, I just want to bring that attitude that I'm trying to get better every day, trying to help this team be successful, and worry about what I can control, and that's my work ethic, and that's being a good leader for this group, and hopefully it takes us to where we want to go.
My apologies if this was asked before, but Dave Tippett, I believe yesterday, talked about how he considered you to be one of the top 3 athletes that he's ever coached. Can you talk about your relationship with Dave Tippett and how much that means in terms of going back how many years with him and now having success with him again here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously my relationship with Tip and the time we've spent together has been well documented. So I think obviously having him as a rookie in the league, and then for 6 years in Arizona, and then kind of reuniting here in Edmonton, obviously I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tip as a coach and as a person. And those words, coming from a guy like that's been around as long as he has, not only as a player but as a coach, obviously carries some weight. And he's obviously seen a lot of players through the course of his career. So I think it's special when a comment like that has been said about you. And I'll continue to try and be one of those top athletes every single day I come to the rink. So I think that's what has allowed me to play as long as I have, and I'm very fortunate for that.